Yeah,
I was like, I didn't see the live.
I'm not even looking. All right, there's the live sound. Let's get busy.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Veronica,
You know what?
did you check, Veronica? You should check your inbox. I sent you something. That's why I'm laughing when he put that. I sent you something regards to that today. Oh, start off the show. I'm sorry.
Victor, you welcome to Tangy Tea of Life. I'm your host, Veronica. So glad to be back with you guys on this Tuesday. My co-host Victor is back with us this
Yeah,
week.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back, Victor.
Oh God.
My
Is
girl
that
Tori.
Victor or Victoria? I don't know from that hat.
Oh God.
Welcome back, my girl Tori.
What's
Kicking
up,
the Face
y'all?
podcast. And all the way from New York, WBLS radio station is my brother
Yeah,
Fatine.
yeah, yeah. Okay, Victor's back. All right, Vic is here.
And
All right.
also, let me do this because I was running my mouth laughing. So busy listening at. I'm so busy laughing at Victor. The host, the one and only of the Tangy Tea for Life, the creator of the Tangy Tea for Life, Miss
We call her Puff Puff. That's her. That's her new name, Puff Puff.
Veronica, I'm really feeling them nails though. I
Oh,
see you. I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Oh, Tori, such a great introduction. Thank you. Woo! We in the building. Yeah, that got me pumped. Thank
I
you,
threw the
Tori.
bell. I threw the bell out there. Y'all didn't hear that bell out in the rain
Oh
consistently
my
for
God.
What's
5 minutes.
going on, family? I'm so glad to be right with you all. How y'all feeling?
All right, all right.
Good.
Good, good. Victor, we missed you Thursday. What's up,
Well,
Tamika?
I'm glad it's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Vic got his hair blown out a little bit. What's up, Vic?
Oh,
Ah,
Yeah, I
got a little
got to blow
blowout
mine
going on.
out.
A little blowout going on. All right.
Oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Well, a lot is going on, guys. I'm telling you, a lot is going on. Prayers going out to Tori and her family for the loss of her
Mhm.
uncle. Tori, we
yep.
appreciate you hanging out with us tonight.
Thank
Um,
you.
I had a family member that passed away yesterday. There's just a lot
Wow.
going on. So asking you to pray for my family as well. We're praying for your family, Tori, and all families
Definitely.
out there that are going through it right now. Some hard times, but
Yeah, let me
Yes.
just say, I lost a family member about a week and a half ago, and there was two funerals. Maggie Nelson. Matter of fact, there's a funeral in Brooklyn and Mill Branch, Pamplico, South Carolina, this past
Wow.
weekend. Yeah, so my cousin Pat was there, and the rest of the family. So, oh,
Wow.
matter of fact, right here, Magnolia Nelson,
prayers
celebration of
going out.
life.
Our
Yes.
condolences to you as well.
Yeah,
Thank you. And we definitely got to offer our condolences to both Boulder, Colorado, and of course, Georgia and Atlanta, where people have lost their life to senseless violence.
definitely, definitely, and around our area. Um, definitely
Mm.
local, around the
Yeah.
world, everywhere. Yes, praying for everybody.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can, get it together and one day come together and just love upon each other, right? What's
Mm.
going on, Miss Pat? We have Sammy watching.
Hey,
Hello, Miss
y'all.
Sammy. All of you out there that's watching. Consolo. I be saying her name all wrong.
It's
Consuelo.
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 Consuelo. Hey, Consuelo.
Hey,
Everybody out
Pat.
there, thank you so
Tamika.
much for watching
Sammy.
the T for joining us tonight. So we have an email letter and we're going to get right into it. And it goes like this. Dear Veronica, I have been in a relationship for 4 years with the man of my dreams. I don't want to pressure him into marrying me, but I don't want to jump back into the dating scene either. I don't like involving too many people in my business, so I decided to reach out to you for an unbiased opinion. I need some advice because I'm weighing out whether I should stay or go, or even if I want to get married anymore. Do you feel like women settle for marriages because they have to wait for the man to commit to them? What am I doing wrong? I also feel like there isn't enough teaching or awareness of being a desirable mate outside of the typical gender norms. I believe a lot of women settle out of the need of security, even if she can provide for herself. Ladies, did you marry the man you wanted or the man who chose you? Do you think women/men will marry less if they actually married who they truly desire? I would rather wait than settle, but as you can see, time is ticking. What should I do? Um, Victor, this is a great topic for you because you're getting married next year. So you can give this young lady some advice. But you have been engaged for 3 years, so I'm trying to figure out what
Wait a minute. I have not been engaged that long. I've been engaged for a year. Damn.
but we'll get into that later. Okay, so I think we as women need to make better choices when it comes to marriage. I do feel like a lot of women marry for wrong reasons. Some women marry for security. Some marry just to have that title. Some marry to please others, not putting themselves first. But one thing I do believe is that you should not pressure anyone in getting married. You shouldn't pressure anyone in getting married. You shouldn't pressure anyone in getting into a relationship. You shouldn't pressure someone in having sex with you. Like, none of those things are good, and I feel like it would end up bad in the long run. So you don't want to pressure him into marrying you. I do feel like 4 years is a long time to keep to get to know someone, and to recognize if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone. Y'all may not agree with that, but I do feel like 4 years is a long time to get to know someone and to, decide whether or not, excuse me, if you want to be with this person or not. But this is why it's so important to communicate with your partner. You both need to sit down, young lady, you both need to sit down and have that conversation. I mean, I know that it must be important to you because you wrote the letter, right? So it's definitely on your mind. When in a relationship or a situation, both individuals need to be able to open up and express how they feel. Like, no one should be guessing, sitting around thinking about what the other is thinking, or, trying to figure out the other opinion or whatever. So you need to have that conversation with him. The only thing, because you asked the question about what am I doing wrong, the only thing that you're doing wrong is not having that conversation with your man. Stop assuming what he will say, or know his actions, but put it out there and let him know how you really feel. You definitely shouldn't settle, but you most definitely should have this conversation with your man to let him know, hey, we've been together for 4 years. I feel like we should be going in another direction at this point. 4 years, like I said, is a long time. So, but you have a lot of questions in this letter. So I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to turn it over to my co-host Victor and let him give his opinion, and then we'll get back into some of these questions as my other hosts give their opinions as well. And then we'll get back into these questions that you have throughout the letter. Victor?
First of all, Veronica, thank everybody, they're saying welcome back. So thank you for that. But I'm going to say this. I got two things I really want to say. First of all, it seems like she's giving him an ultimatum, and that is never going to end right. It's just something, when you put somebody back against the corner, be aware that when you give somebody an ultimatum, it might not come out the way that you want it to come out. I just assume that's what she's giving. But let's let's talk about this. Well, we don't have to talk about it right now, but why can't she propose to him? Because if she really wants to get married, then and he hasn't asked her, she should ask him. I know it's not traditional, but if marriage is her goal, then she needs to take the first step in the relationship and buy him a ring. You know, I know that y'all, Tori, hey, we can talk about this after you give your thoughts, but what's wrong with a woman asking a man, will you marry me? And then we can talk about that later.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that because in the club, a woman can't walk up to a man, but she can go and ask to get married. We're gonna definitely talk about.
But what I'm saying, all I'm saying is, if we're together, so this is not an introduction. This is they've been together 4 years. So this is the comfort level is. I done seen you naked. You done seen me naked. We done smelled each other. We done all this stuff in 4 years. Why can't she ask me to marry her? If I'm not moving my feet fast enough, ask me to marry you.
Well, let Tori jump in. I jumped ahead of Tori. Sorry, Tori.
You fine. Because I'm still looking at Victor. Victor, stop. Okay. I agree with everything Veronica said. I agree with Victor, with the exception of the woman proposing. I totally flat out disagree with that part. But just like Victor was saying, it sounds to me as well, I was thinking that it sounds like an ultimatum. One thing about women, when you give a man an ultimatum, that pretty much runs them away. I believe in allowing things to happen organically. If the relationship is forced, I feel like you're already in trouble if you feel like you got to force it. And the second question was, what was the second?
The second question.
Okay,
she was saying about there was something else she asked. I can't remember. It escaped my mind. Do you feel like women settle for marriages because they have to wait for the man to commit to them? That one. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions in here.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to remember everything, but Victor just threw me off when he said a woman proposed. Absolutely not.
Why though, Tori?
Why? Why should she?
But if she wants to get married, he's not moving.
Like I said, I'm old fashioned, and I just feel like the man is supposed to pursue the woman because the men are the hunters. We are you know what I'm saying? I just and it to me, it just looks weird. Also, when
how's it look weird if it's just between us?
It just looks weird. You know, a lot of people got to make appearances on social media. You know, some people gonna have to do that. It just looks weird. I just feel like it's out of order for a woman to ask a man. And like I said, I feel like you're forcing. And to me, and this is just my opinion, don't y'all beat me up in the comments. I feel as though if a woman asks a man for their hand in marriage, that it's out of desperation, and you're forcing his hand as to. Because I mean, vice versa, whether the man asks the lady or she asks him, either one of y'all could say no. You're taking a risk, but I just feel like it's out of order for a woman to ask a man because, like I said, the men are hunters, and I feel as though the man should pursue the woman. It's not our job to be running behind a man. I absolutely disagree. I feel like it's desperate when a woman does it. That's just, like I said, this is just my opinion. There's nothing etched in stone. It's just Tori's opinion. And I'm done.
So I would love to revisit that in a little bit, but I do respect your stance on that.
Thank you.
So interesting. So some things stay the same, some things change. So the traditional part, I understand where Victor's coming from in a sense of trying to get progress down. I do understand what Veronica and Tori saying about the pressure. And what I would say to the young lady is there needs to be a conversation. I'm always talking about the communication, and there needs to just be a conversation, but a conversation without the emotion, in the sense of not, when are you going to do this? Is this something you want to do? Is this something that we're moving in this direction, or is this something that you don't want to do? At least at the end of the day, if he is sincere and say, well, this is the reason why, and it doesn't suit her, then at the end of the day, then she has to make that decision if she's going to stay there or move on. Number two, do women settle? Can't paint all women don't settle, but some women do settle when it comes down to marriage. Why? Especially when it comes down into the Black family. When we talk about the Black family, we already talk about the shortage of good men. We already see that you got some men married, you got some men gay, you got some men in prison, and then you have a lot of people who are just not ready for that commitment nowadays. So at the end of the day, that's why women settle when they feel like they have a good or a decent man. So at the end of the day, sister, have a conversation with him, but be sincere and not push, because like Tori said, it's like an ultimatum. Victor said the same thing. It's like an ultimatum. And when you do that, you definitely push a man more in a corner to that he has to make a decision. So.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, she have a lot of questions in this letter. One of them was, ladies, did you marry the man you wanted, or the man the man who chose you? I think at that particular time, when you make that decision, you say yes. I feel like yes, you do feel like that is the man that you want, you know, even though it may not turn out like that years later. But I do feel like at that moment, you do feel like that is the man for you. You know, like you, Victor, you proposed to your fiance. Do you feel like she's the one for you?
Yes.
You better say yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, Veronica, you just reminded me what I was going to say. With the settling part, reread what you just said, because it was something about the settling. Oh, did you marry? The question whether or not you married the one. Say that part about the marrying the one that you chose.
She started off, she said, I believe a lot of women settle out of the need of security, even if she can provide for herself. Ladies, did you marry the man you wanted, or the man who chose you?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. A lot of times, the one that we want may not be the one that we need. So I feel as though sometimes you have to not focus on so much of what you're wanting. You got to focus on what you're needing. Like you have to weigh your options, whether or not this person is going to be an asset to me, or whether this person is going to be a liability to me. Because there are some people that come into your life and they absolutely bring you down. And then there's some people that's going to pour into you, and they're going to uplift you. So that's the thing that I'm more focused on these days, because back then I focused on too much what I wanted. And when I focused on what I wanted instead of what I needed, it was a disaster.
wait, whoa. Let's back up to what Tori just said.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I said marriage was a business and the marriage is all this, it sounds like, and you jumped all over me, it sounds like you're coming over here to Team Vic over here.
No, I am not.
Oh, I was just wondering. Okay.
Digress.
Okay.
So
Well,
Tori, so what do you mean wanted and needed? What do you mean? Explain that, just in case people are just tuning in for the first time. We know you, but everybody may not know you from that perspective. What do you mean? You in the past you chose, more on what you wanted versus what you needed. What do you explain that? Elaborate a little bit more on that.
Okay. In the past, based on what I what I wanted, I may have dated someone based on maybe their appearance, or maybe I never was superficial. I never focused on like cars or money, that type of thing. But I think most of my problem was I was focused on their
popularity.
Their looks. I was focused on the looks, like
looks and popularity, and
and thinking, who gonna look good on my arm and that type of thing. But now I'm more focused on what I need. Who's gonna be pouring into me spiritually? Who's gonna cover me in prayer? Who's actually gonna have my back? Who's willing to fight for me? Because I've been in relationships where I'm fighting for you, but you weren't fighting for me. I'm actually taking up for you in your absence, but instead of you taking up for me in my absence, you talking about me with them. So that's what I'm talking about, is things that you need. You need a partner that's gonna ride that. I don't like saying ride or die, but that's gonna basically have your back. Like if you're not around, they're gonna defend you. And also, like, say if we're at the house and we're having a disagreement, when we go out in public, I might be dog mad at you, but when we're in public, oh, let somebody say something to you. I can say something, but let them come for you. Oh, I'm with it. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, Tori, let me ask you a question. And you
Okay.
saying versus let's talk about needs and wants now, because we all need vegetables on our plate, but we all still want that cornbread that's not good for us. So even though you eat them collard greens and them string beans, you getting fed, but that's not what you want. You still, as you eating this cornbread, I mean this collard greens and beans, you still thinking about this cornbread that's sitting on the table. So you can sit here and eat these greens and be healthy all day long, but you still lusting over this cornbread. So eventually you're gonna go over there and get that cornbread just to satisfy your needs. So needs and wants, eventually it's gonna come down to, let's just meet in the middle and just get exactly what you need and want. So because when you start talking about liability, you already know how I felt about that. So
yeah. But Victor, I get what you're saying, but everybody that you need is not gonna, everything that you want is not gonna provide what you need. Then I think it's possible, but it's probably rare to get both in one person. In my opinion, it's hard. I feel.
I'll say this, and I'm a firm believer of this. A woman can mold a man into the man that she wants, needs, and all. But we have to be willing to be molded, and vice versa.
Right.
You see what I mean? Like when the man that I was when I met my fiance is not the man I am today. I'm pretty sure she took this lumpy mold of clay and constructed me into, clean me up and construct me into something that she can deal with on a regular.
Keep that hat on, Victoria. I mean, Victor, you.
but I mean, to be totally honest with you, I get what you're saying. But if you settle, it sounds like you already settling when you said that you rather deal with what you want. I mean, what you need versus what you want. And that's, to me, it just feels like that you're settling. And you might not be, but that's just what I feel like.
And is it to the point that we're trying to say, be politically correct, but we don't do things politically correct. You understand? That's why at the end of the day, we make choices. Some are good, some are bad, some are changing. Some things change as time goes on. So at the end of the day, what sounds good, is that really how you're living? And if that is the way you're living, then you may not get that proposal. Like this young lady may not get this proposal.
But why she can't propose to him?
I didn't say, you know what? Let's address this. So at the end of the day, that's up to her. That's up to her. I don't think there is a tradition where men do propose to the women, and at the end of the day, that's up to them. We don't see that. We watch television, we see the movies, we see our friends, and we don't see that as much. But Victor, at the end of the day, that's on the table. And if that's something that two folks agree to, that's up to them. That's their decision.
Chrissy proposed to Jim Jones, remember, in Love and Hip Hop, the very first one. So that's, whatever. But we have never seen male house husbands, and we're seeing that now. We haven't seen the dynamic of the family where the woman leads and the man follows, and we're seeing that now. We have never seen where a woman can be a CEO and run the company just as much as a man can. So all this liberation that these women want, why can't you propose to a man? It's not degrading. It's not demasculating the man. It is stating that, listen, this is what I want. And if you're not going to accommodate me, then either you accept this ring or you give me a ring, or however you exchange nuptials with each other. But I'm asking you, will you be my husband? You don't have to exchange a ring, but you say, will you be my husband? That's a proposal. And a proposal doesn't necessarily mean y'all, he gives, a ring is exchanged. All you got to say is, will you be my husband? That's a proposal.
I just want to say one thing real quick, since you mentioned Jim Jones and Chrissy. If you take a look at both of their personalities, at the end of the day, what type of woman is Chrissy? She's a lead type kind of woman too. I mean, Jim Jones is a no-nonsense dude also, but you can see a Chrissy taking that lead and doing that. So that's why I said it depends on the individual, because Chrissy is that type of woman. If it moves her, she's going to do it, and that's the type of woman she is.
I feel like it's okay to maybe hint around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we've been together so long. Maybe one day we'll be getting married.
But that's a proposal, though. That's still a proposal.
No, it's not.
It's you said right.
I said no, it's not.
No, it's not, because it's not like I'm coming out and say, would you be my husband?
But if you give a man an ultimatum, that's a proposal as well. I understand what y'all saying. Like, if you think about, if you look at what a proposal is, this is what I want. Will you give this to me or not? So if you come with an ultimatum, that's a proposal. Either you marry me or I'm leaving. That's a proposal. I mean, if you really look at the definition, that's exactly what it is.
Well, I know I wouldn't be the one to be like, you're going to marry me or I'm going to leave. Like, no, because that's the quickest way to turn somebody off from you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but once you take that step, Veronica, you open the door for pressure, because now all of you definitely so at the end of the day, you are honestly need to either you drawing the line or you going to settle until he decides to do what he's going to do, or you decide to do what you're going to do.
Well, I feel like if you say either you marry me or blah, 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 that is making the decision for him pretty much. And he's going to say, yeah, let's get married. But in the back of his mind, he really don't want to marry you at that moment. Not saying that he won't marry you in the future, but just at that moment, he's not ready to get married, but he's going to do it just because, you gave him that ultimate, what's the word?
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum to do so. So he's going to be like, yeah, sure. But then hopefully 10 years down the road, you won't be in divorce court. But I'm just saying, like, when you pressure someone, that's not a good sign.
Well, sometimes I'll say this. And I swear I'm not trying to start anything, but
okay.
If I can have a cow and the milk, and I can have my cake and eat it too, and you willing to give me all that, then why would I buy the car when I can lease it and drive it for free? So I get it. I understand that this woman, this is her ultimate goal, and I get that. And ma'am, if your ultimate goal is marriage and this guy is not giving it to you, then if you got a timetable in your head and he ain't met the timetable, the best thing you can do is leave. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't give you 4 years of my life. Like, when are you going to pop the question? Yep. Or better yet, when are we going to have that conversation about marriage? Like, we both should be at that point.
But it takes one to initiate the conversation. Then she needs to initiate the conversation.
Exactly. That's why I say she definitely need to sit down with him and have that conversation and let him know where she's at. Because, okay, if she don't kick off this conversation and say he doesn't, and here they is 8 years down the road.
What's wrong with 8 years? I still don't know you.
And I don't know what it's going to take. 8 years. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be with nobody for 8 years and they haven't mentioned not one word about marriage, Victor.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this, Veronica. What if you're with somebody and then you ask them, well, what about marriage? And they say, well, I have all these other plans. What if they put it off? How would you feel if they say, well, right now I have this going on, this going on, this going on. Can you wait? Are you willing to wait?
Well, here's the thing.
4 years is not a long time though, but go ahead.
4 years is a long time to give one person.
What about the two people then?
Then that's 2 years too. But 4 years is a long time to give someone. And then, definitely love is there. I would think, I will hope. Feelings are definitely there. I mean, and just to up and leave. See, that's where people start playing with people's emotions and their feelings. Like, you got me 4 years in, you pretty much got me. But I don't want to continue holding on for so long and just waiting for you to be like, can we get married? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to be 10, 11, 12 years down the road. Like, we as women, we don't like waiting a long time for anything.
So y'all impatient.
Our food, huh?
So y'all impatient.
Pretty much.
So then you'll settle. Because if Joe Blow up the road or propose to you in 9 months, I mean, you married. But
Victor, in regards to what you just said, understand this, that some man, like, what was it? I think it was I can't remember what I don't know if it was Sierra or some. I think it was Sierra. Like, one man that you're with, they may see your worth and value. The other man you with, they may not even see your worth and value, because I don't feel like it takes a man a long, long period of time to know if he really wants to be with you. They'll see I feel like the right one will see your value and worth. Like, you could be with somebody for like 5 years and nothing, and then start seeing someone else, and they propose you within 6 months to a year, because they see your worth and their value, and they want to put a ring on, and they want to give you their last name. So I feel as if
or they're more compatible. It may be something that we've seen. I'm glad you brought up Sierra, because
oh my God, I was going to tell you that's the wrong example.
Well, I'm not going to say that, because at the end of the day, you look at Sierra's other relationships, and then you look at her with the football player right now, and it seems like it is working. At the end of the day, why you say he's trash?
He's trash for multiple reasons, but
why?
I'll go ahead and let you finish.
I mean,
I'd have never wiped her.
Okay, well, anyway, so I don't even have to use that as the example. But at the end of the day, we say they see their worth, but again, it's how you're moving, and how at the end of the day, you're talking about Future. You're talking about Future, who was just basically having baby mamas all over the place, and that's how he was living single, right? So that's how he was moving. This brother now, it seems like he's into her. So I don't know why you call it trash, unless him trash, unless you know something I don't like. Why?
Because Russell Wilson was married,
right,
when he went into the NFL. Sierra was with one of the biggest whores in the United States of America,
right?
And then all of a sudden, she had a baby with Future, couldn't keep him satisfied. You let this guy, pretty much use you. Then you get pregnant, have a baby, and then Russell Wilson leaves his wife for you. You broke up that marriage.
Well, that ain't the only one.
So
Alicia Keys. What about Alicia? So what about Alicia Keys?
Broke up a marriage too.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Problem. We looking at these entertainers, and
we do know that. I know that.
Oh my God!
I don't know what's going on in those people's households. How do y'all know the marriage wasn't already broken?
It don't matter. You should at
least
let
that man. Was he still living with his wife?
But this is the thing, though. It's all about public perception. If I have a divorce and then the next day I'm with somebody and we all out in public, come on, man. That
means you going for what you want. That's what Tori just said. Now, I don't know if it's what I need. I don't know about that, but that's what they decided. They decided this is what see, it's cool for a man to do that, but it ain't cool for a woman to do that. I never
said it was cool for a man.
I'm saying how society looks at it. I didn't say you, Victor. Yeah, I said how society looks at it. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day.
That is what's wrong with this world today, because so many people are looking from the outside into other people's relationships. Y'all don't know what went on. Y'all don't know how it went down. You don't know how Ciara got with Russell. You don't know how Alicia Keys and what's his name got together. Okay, if they was married, you don't know what happened. You don't know if these people was living in the same house. You don't know if their marriage was getting ready to, like their divorce was getting to be final a week or two later when they got together. You don't know.
Well, let's talk about Alicia Keys.
Relationships.
Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats actually cheated. So
Yeah, exactly. Because
Steve Harvey cheated on his wife.
Because I got Mashonda book right there. I talked to Mashonda. The beautiful thing about talking about Mashonda and Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats now is that she said, of course, she was hurt in the beginning, but they had a kid, they had a child, and now they work as a big unit. They go on vacations all together. I don't know what their relationship is today. Some people think that he may be dealing with both. All right, but at the end of the day, it works for them. And it works for the family. So more power to it because now it's working for them. So
you know what Deanna said? She says you will never be enough for the wrong man.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, you never be enough for the wrong
woman. And vice versa.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you gonna go to some of the comments, Veronica?
Wait a minute, before you go to the comments, let me back up because Tori was giving me all these little dirty looks when I was talking about that. People look at Ciara as if she bossed up. Ciara bossed up financially, but at what cost? It's all about public perception. Now this man wants to leave Seattle and talking about he wants to go to Atlanta. I wonder who's behind him saying that. It's all about public perception. Now all of a sudden he's not happy in Seattle.
He's a grown ass man.
Yeah, so what? So what, Vic? So what's his name that went to Tampa Bay and won the Super Bowl? Oh, it's cool for him to want to go somewhere, right? But it's not cool for Russell to go to want to go.
No, you can't compare. You compare apples and oranges. Tom did not marry somebody who was from Tampa Bay. Tom and Giselle got 5 kids together, and there is.
And how many kids does Ciara and brother have? And how long have they been married before he's talking about leaving? They ain't got married like 6 months ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that ride, Vic. I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, I can't argue with you about 2 other people's relationship. I can't do that. So I'll just let it slide for whatever it is.
I'm just saying I don't think you're giving him a fair deal. It seems like you don't like this dude.
But I mean, I just think he trash. She trash, Future trash, Steve Harvey's trash. His
Veronica, shut his mic off.
Huh?
Shut your mic off.
Steve Harvey and me, we work for the same company, so that's my man. I ain't gonna let that fly. You think
Steve Harvey? What did Steve Harvey say when he saw his wife? She said when she walked down, she was at his show. She walked down the aisle and he stopped the show and said, "I'm gonna marry you one day." Did he or did he not say that while he was married?
Okay.
Some people just have that.
Oh, okay. Like so it's cool to cheat. So it's cool to cheat. Nobody don't. Okay. I got my answer.
No, it's not okay. It's not cool to cheat. But I'm just saying, like, we don't know what goes on in these people's households. You don't know. And I'm not saying what he did was right. Like, I don't even know how it went down.
Yeah,
I'm saying if we stop worrying about other people's relationships and what's going on in their household,
exactly.
Maybe let me ask you, together.
Well, let me ask all 3 of y'all a question. And I would love for y'all to be 100% honest with me. If you are married and you legally separated, when is it okay to have sex with somebody outside your marriage? The day of the divorce or during that separation? Because when is
Can I answer that? Can I answer that first?
Go ahead, Tori.
Me personally, first of all, let me say I'm not married and never been married. But if I get married and I'm separated, for me personally, this is Tori's opinion, I would not engage or entertain anything else with anyone else until that dotted line or that divorce is final. That's for me. I'm not going to even entertain anything else until it's final. because
Well, let me
in order for me to move on to the next relationship, I gotta heal first. I'm not gonna be jumping from relationship to relationship. That's just me. I gotta
Right.
heal.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this. Some people heal during their separation. Some people people know, women definitely know when it's time. When it's that time when they're done, we just living in the house together, we living as roommates, blah, 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 blah. I'll speak for my damn self. This is the tea. My healing started way before my divorce.
Yeah.
So if I felt like I was ready to move on before my divorce was final, that was my decision. And I'm not saying that I was sleeping around with people, but I've been conversating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fit. If you know that you're done, you're done. Why do I have to put my life on hold just because, oh, she's moving too fast? She's already talking to somebody else, blah, blah, blah. You don't know my healing process. You don't know how long I've been in this healing process. So no one can judge anybody for a decision that they make when it comes to their personal life.
Exactly.
That's why I said for me, because everybody's different.
And in my first marriage, when we broke up, we didn't get the divorce right away. She had a child. I didn't say anything about that. We were not together. So she moved on, I moved on. We just didn't get the legal divorce right away, but she moved on and I moved on. That's that.
I mean,
That answer your question, Rick.
Well, what I'm saying is it's there's no, to me, there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you decide to do, you know, is in your situation. You know, I haven't been married, but I would like to say that, you know, I would love to say that I would wait until after divorce, but the reality, I probably wouldn't. So, you know, but, you know, when we look at these public figures, we hold them at such a high standard that we won't call a spade a spade. This guy cheated on his wife. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He's not the first or the last.
Huh?
He's not the first or the last.
No, he's not. But whereas if somebody will say, oh, well, you know, Vic White up the street, he stepped out on his old lady and he trashed, but Steve Harvey did the same thing. And it's like, oh, well, we don't know what's going on today. No, he trashed. And that's the thing. We hold these entertainers better than we hold the people that we see every day.
So you never cheated in your life?
Ma'am?
He answered that already. He answered that question already.
You ever cheated?
No.
Ooh. I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing.
Okay.
In my current relationship, no.
No, we ain't say that.
Current.
She had did you ever cheated?
I'm sorry. I was still on my soapbox. I'm sorry, Veronica. What was the question?
Have you ever cheated in any relationship?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, folks. Everybody out there, stop judging people. Stop judging people because
he asked the question. Victor asked the question. If I'm not mistaken, you said, okay, let me make sure. Your question, Victor, was if you sleep with somebody.
No. If his question,
that's what he said.
He said if you legally separated.
No, he said yeah. That's why I said. That's why I responded the way I responded. Y'all already know that ain't a big deal for me. Y'all know how I roll, so that's why I say I can wait for the divorce.
So right.
and I
so
said,
that's how I responded.
But in your life, waiting for the divorce or not, nothing gonna happen anyway till you get married, right? So you didn't even count.
And you know, it's going back to what Deanna says. Okay, yes, the politically correct answer is after divorce. But if in a situation we don't know what we'll do, and you know, we can sit here and we can judge and we can talk about Sierra, we can talk about this person. But if you've never been in that situation, don't judge me. Don't come for me because you've never been in that situation before.
Yeah.
I'm on my soapbox now. Y'all didn't struck a nerve, but I'm just saying.
Victor,
if you've never been in that situation before, don't come for me.
Yeah. Why are soap operas so popular? You know, I watch them too. I watch The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful, and I used to watch all my children. Why are soap operas so popular? Because people like that ratchetness. Why do you look at Love and Hip Hop? They love that ratchetness and the entertainment and the people that's in the entertainment world. You know that they marry, then you hear a year later, 6 months later, they divorcing or this, that, and other. It kind of fits the territory, unfortunately. But not everybody in Hollywood. We see Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union look like they are still going strong, and more power to them. But that seems not the norm.
There's something wrong
in the entertainment in the world.
There's something wrong with Gabrielle.
That goes back to stop trying to look inside somebody's relationship, inside somebody's marriage, and try to figure out what is going on. It's none of your business.
But that's what we do every week here.
Well, that's what we do every week. That's what I'm going to say.
I know, but I'm saying y'all on these celebrities. Why are we talking about? Can we talk about everyday life people here?
Everyday life people too.
This is the reason why I just said. This is the reason why I mentioned Ciara. I only mention her because I could see based on pictures. I said, and like I said, every picture don't tell the truth, but based on observation from what made what the picture appear. Because like I said, I wasn't there, but I'm just saying based on the picture. When pictures I've seen with her at Future, it looks like she was unhappy, and when she was
happy, she looked happy with Future
in the beginning.
I didn't see those pictures.
She don't look happy with Russell. She looked like she settled with Russell.
Okay.
I'm just saying, yes, this is what we do on the team. We give our comment, we give our opinions and all of that stuff. But I just think when it comes to that, like, it becomes a little messy when we start judging people for the decisions that they make when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriages. Like, we don't know what these people went through, going through. You know what I'm saying? Have been through. Like, we don't know.
You don't.
So, see, that's something that I don't do. Like, if I have, the everyday people, like if I have friends that go through something, like say if I have a friend that's going through a relationship issue, and you're like, he did this and I'm gonna leave. And then it's like, you know how sometimes you could tell somebody you're gonna leave and you bashing that person to someone, and then we looking at them all crazy, but then
end up staying.
That person go back to that person.
Right.
And you still looking at them side eye. I'm like this. If you made the choice to stay with that person, I'm gonna rock with your decision. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do that. As long as if you made the choice to forgive them and you made the choice to stay, you have to live with your decision. I'm not gonna go off. That's one thing about me. When people come talk to me about certain things that they go through, I never tell somebody how to handle their relationship. If they decide that one day they're gonna leave or the next day they want to stay, whatever decision they make, I'm rocking with their decision. I'm not gonna beat them up because of their decision, and I'm not. And if they decide to stay, if they like cheated the dog or whatever, and they decide to stay, I'm not gonna treat that man any different. If she made a choice to stay with him, I'm not gonna dog him or nothing like that. That's just me. But it's what
about if there's abuse? What happens if that's a good point, Tori? Not trying to change you, but what happens if your best friend decides to stay, and then 2 weeks later she decides to stay, and she walks in front of you, got shades on, and then she accidentally bends down and you see a black eye? You still rocking with her, or how do you handle that? How do you handle that where it's abuse? No, because I understand your point, but let's say there's abuse there now.
Of course, you don't want to see. Of course, you don't want to see
abuse would be different.
Abuse. Of
Yeah.
course,
So would you say something then to her?
Yeah, abuse would be different.
Yeah. But you're saying something to her. You're giving her your opinion. But it's up to her to make the decision on what she's going to do. Are you going to stay or are you going to leave? That's entirely up to her. But we can only give our opinion when it comes to that. Definitely wouldn't want to see a friend going through some BS like that. So,
Right.
But then, once you get in, and even if she stay with the dude, we're going to be looking at him side eye. But what can we do? But still support our friend.
I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to abuse, I am gonna be looking at dude's side.
Yeah.
I want to say why we can't admit that Steve Harvey trash?
Nah, we
I'm
ain't
still
going.
mad about that.
I'm not gonna admit that.
You
That's
Because
right.
why?
That's my
Because he a
coworker.
black entertainer.
Nah, it's not that because
No, because
he.
that's
Why is he trash? Because he said that you don't know what he was going through with his wife. They
It
could have
don't
been
matter.
on the
He said-
outs.
Don't matter. He
I
said
said, well, it does
Didn't I say
matter.
that? Didn't I say that?
Yeah, I'm not going. I know
I
my
mean, y'all
cousin
don't have to
Patty.
agree with it, but he trash.
I just-
So
nah.
we can go on. I just want to put that out there that the same thing, but we'll look at Lori Harvey because apparently that family dynamic is messed up. We can look at Lori Harvey who dated Future. So apparently he ain't setting a good example because what is his daughter doing? She's sleeping with the daddy. She's sleeping with the son. She slept with Future. Hey, if the right man don't come through, date all of them, Lord. Hey, so I understand.
Victor, how you know you slept without him? You was there? Were you
Come
there?
on. Come on, Tori.
Were
Come
you
on.
there?
No, ma'am.
Were you there? So how do
No,
you
ma'am.
know?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I just don't see how you can just. I mean, again, your opinion is get out there
Yeah.
and sit there and say that, but I've seen other men do much more worse
Let
than
me-
that than what Steve Harvey did. I'm
Let
not
me
going
say
to.
this.
Not
as
this
a-
brother who's been successful and has helped a lot of people. Same thing with Bill Cosby. He did some things that were not cool neither. At the end of the
that
day,
hasn't been proven, but okay.
well, he
Um,
said he did. He used a date rate thing. Come on, what do you mean that hasn't been proven?
I
He
didn't
said
know
that in the affidavit.
My blackness won't allow me to.
But then your blackness allowed you to say Steve Harvey's trash.
Yeah, Steve
Man,
Harvey
come on.
is trash.
Yeah,
I didn't say Steve Harvey raped anybody, but
Mhm.
just like Michael Jackson didn't do it and OJ didn't kill nobody. But all I'm saying is all I'm saying is that
Ooh, Jesus.
y'all hold Steve Harvey so high. So high
What
up here.
what is this about Steve Harvey that you
Because
on
he
this
is
soapbox?
trash.
So listen,
Nah.
you do understand we work in radio, right?
That's
Oh,
what I'm
God.
saying.
I'm
And he
sorry.
works at my station, and I know the brother, so I ain't gonna sit here and brother say, "Fatigue, you was there." Nah, I'm taking up
I
for my
understand.
dude.
Hey,
How he lived his life, that's his choice.
But-
I may
but-
not agree with everything, but I ain't gonna call my brother a trash.
But all
I
I'm
ain't
gonna
do
say
that.
is this: I understand. I don't mind burning bridges, so it is what it is. But when the entertainment world, I ain't gonna say in the social media world, when you start taking pictures with people and they assume that y'all dating, that means you publicly when you put something on social media, you're automatically subject to be criticized. You automatically subject to be judged. So when he made that comment and he made that statement about how he met his new
That
wife,
was at a comedy show.
that was not at a comedy show. He said it on his actual show.
Okay.
She's the one that told the story. Tori, am I lying? He said it on his show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She said it on the show. I know that somebody talking about the comedy show, but he brought her to the show and he actually said it. So I get it. I understand that, Steve Harvey's a very powerful person, but he can't touch me. So I'm going to just say it. Steve Harvey trash.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's not. I'm saying the brother ain't trash.
All right, so let's get to some of these comments. Cheryl said after 4 years solid, you should know what direction the relationship is going. That's exactly right. Deanna says sometimes even bringing the conversation up may make the man feel pressure. Well, you know what? He need to put his big pants on. Because if you're in a relationship and someone can't come to you with a conversation, then there's a problem. If we're in a relationship, I feel like I should be able to come to you about anything without you at least let me know how you felt about what I asked you. Let me know how you feel about the conversation. Like, that's not pressure. At least I'm coming to you. You know what I'm saying? If we can't talk about everything, then something is wrong. Exactly. That's exactly right. You better speak, Tori. I don't know what part that was on.
Tori was agreeing with me about
No, I was not.
marriage. Marriage is you have to use your head. You're going into a marriage.
Right,
Tori?
Talk about your wife, your fiance. She need to burn that hat and shirt.
That's her. What? Team White? Are you serious?
That shirt behind you.
Oh.
And all them colorful shirts.
John says, so why so many women know the type man they may need, but still choose their want? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Can
They
y'all
know
women
the type
answer
of
that?
man huh?
Can y'all women answer that, please?
They know the type of man that they need, but still choose their want. That's something that I'm learning right now. To choose the type of man that I need, because all the other times I was choosing what I want, what attracted me, you know. How can I explain it?
Is that
Like,
settling though?
Huh?
Is that settling?
If that's what you want to call it.
No,
Are
I'm
you talking-
asking. I'm actually asking.
You talking about as far as what I want instead of what I need?
Yes.
That's a little settling. Yeah. But you know, when you go through things and you grow up and you learn from your mistakes, and now you really know what you want. And I know what type of man that I need now. You know what I'm saying? Then the type of man that I want.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say one thing here. I'm sorry to keep jumping on the Steve Harvey thing, but just to prove what Veronica was saying. So Victor is 100% correct when he said that. Yeah, you're correct when it was at a comedy show, 1996, where Steve Harvey's wife today was walking down the aisle, and he said, "I don't know who this woman is, but I'm going to marry her." It took him over 12 to 15 years before he married his wife. So when he made that statement, yes, he was still married, but it was more of a prophecy than anything, because it ain't like he started dating that woman or whatever. He properly started to date her at least 12 to 15 years after. So at the end of the day, you got to know the story.
Okay, we don't know when they probably had sex that night.
Yeah, there you go again. So anyway,
I mean, we can sit here and assume all day, but
I'm just saying that he got engaged to her 12 years later. So and then he married her. So I'm just not saying that they it don't seem like they had anything going on before that.
Well, since you said I was 96, then I want to see. I did my research on this. Then look up when his wife actually said that Steve Harvey came home, made her sign a non-disclosure, and told her, "I'm leaving. You can have this, you can have this, you can have this," and then he just left. He came home off the road.
Is there a problem with that?
No.
That's because somebody else came in the picture and made him speed up his mind a little quicker.
You're right.
That's assumption. That's an assumption.
There's nothing wrong with what he did. All I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with what he did. Now, if there's nothing wrong with what he did, don't come at me. Don't come at no other man by how they handle their business. If y'all didn't demonize Steve, do not demonize us. All I was trying to do was say, if y'all let Steve walk, let every man walk the same way. That's it.
Okay, well then that goes back to the dude. Hold your little sign up. That goes right into him.
Oh, who is this dude here? I don't know. Who's Derek?
He's very popular on social media when it comes to.
Oh, that's the guy that got caught. Okay, I got it.
No, it's
but see, Fatim, he talks so much trash about us men. He and I get it.
And he cheated on his wife.
He uplifts women, but he was dogging his wife, and that's the problem, because when you got a strong-willed man that's gonna sit here and tell a woman exactly not what she wants to hear, but exactly what is on his mind, we come across as being chauvinistic. We come across as being all this, but we ain't cheating. But see, you got a guy like this who is praising women, who's doing all this stuff, but it's got 1,000 skeletons in his closet. Now I'm in my closet, and y'all ain't seen the skeleton fall yet. So
well, there's one over your head.
That's why,
because you ain't opened that other door on the cell.
But see, and that's why I feel like when a guy is open, and I've always told my fiance this a long time ago when we first met. I said, I can honestly take you to Walmart at any time, any Walmart, any place, anywhere, and I ain't got to worry about nothing. We can go to Dollar General, we can go to the mall. I don't have to worry about anything, because when we first got together, I cleaned up everything. So you got a lot of guys that'll say one thing and do something else, and y'all will be like, "Oh, he's just the perfect man, and he's this and he's that." But then the loudmouth guy over here that's talking all this mess is really the one that's keeping it 100, because ain't no woman coming out saying, "Well, Vic this and Vic that." That's not happening. But then you got guys like this who is catering to y'all, and then those are the ones with the biggest skeletons in the closet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've been watching Derek Jackson for years, and honestly, when this scandal came out, I was shocked, because it's like you're constantly telling men it's wrong to cheat. You're constantly telling men to do this, do that, and you're doing everything you're saying, telling men not to do. And he said, I watched, because Veronica, I sent it, you probably hadn't had a chance to send, but I sent you a couple videos today just in regards to that issue. But it's like he said 2020 was a hard year for him. And my thing was, I felt like when he did a live yesterday, and the live yesterday, he was apologizing to his viewers. He said, I don't care if none, he said, I appreciate the supporters I had. And he said, if you stop following me, stop listening to me, I totally understand, because I totally contradicted everything that I was saying. But my thing was, the whole time when he was speaking, I was looking at his wife, and
holding her hand,
and he was holding her hand tightly, and like, here again, we on the outside looking in. But it just looks to me, but she did end up leaving him, but they're now back together. But it just looks like, let me just sum it up in one word. It looks like, to me, this is just an observation, she looked like she was just, there was so much more she wanted to say.
There was so much pain in her eyes.
Yes. And it was just like, kind of like a hostage situation to me.
I mean, and the way she came out, because I'm going to tell you right now, if, my husband was to bring me out, and saying that, oh, I did this, I cheated on my wife, I did that. You think I'm going to come out looking like she came out? Man, I'm going to be so fly. Like, yeah, all you little heifers out there that want my man, look at this. But the way she came, but the way she came out, I don't know what that was about. Like, it's like he just say, slip on something real quick and let's do this video. Like, it's like she didn't have no kind of care in the world how she looked. It was just,
but y'all know. But what I got from it all, every video he did bashing men, he done by himself. But when he got caught cheating, all of a sudden you want to bring your wife in.
Well,
but see, that's what y'all don't see. But see, real men, we see a guy like Derek Jackson, and we like, this dude is fake. But then we bash a guy like Future, who puts it on the table that I'm a womanizer, I'm this, I'm that, and women still fall for him. But we say, oh, don't be with a Future, don't do this. But then y'all will run to Derek and get cheated on. So you got a guy that's putting it out there and a guy that's doing it behind your back. Which one you want?
Well, if we don't know, if he's not doing it in front of our face, we don't know he's doing it behind our back.
I ain't gonna even lie. Derek had me fooled. I ain't gonna lie.
Here's the thing. I didn't follow Derek. I mean,
I have been following him.
A few of his videos, like if it pop up on my timeline or something, or someone shared it, but I wasn't like a follower of his.
Yeah, I was following him.
I keep saying this, and we still don't deal with it. From Dr. King, top ministers, leaders, to your average person, to relation gurus, men, they cheat. Why? I don't know. But, this is a conversation. I didn't say all men, but what I'm saying is we continue to have these conversations week after week, week after week. And the bottom line is, the common denominator is this has been going on. And like you said, it's not going to be the first, and it's not going to be the last.
I can't believe you said Dr. King, but I can't talk about Steve. So
I didn't call Dr. King trash.
Oh, well.
I didn't call him trash.
John says they love Derek Jackson, but hate Kevin Samuel.
Listen,
Women
John.
hug, wait, Tori. Women hugs the lies, but refuse to kiss the truth.
And that's a true fact. John,
Yep.
John and
John.
Deanna been speaking
That
facts all
Kevin
day.
Samuel though is a beast. Like
That's what I was gonna say, John. I don't like either one of them now, and I definitely, to me, I think Kevin Samuel actually, the way he talk about women. Oh my God, I don't like either one of them now.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't listen
What's
to
the
nobody
difference
no more.
What's the difference between Kevin Samuel and my hero, Geno Jennings, excuse me.
I really like Geno Jennings.
Geno's gonna tell you exactly how
The way it is, yeah.
and the way it is, and he ain't scared to say that TD Jakes is a corporation and not a spiritual leader.
Oh my gosh!
But that's what he said. But see, we keep holding people so high because of their position. TD Jakes is still Geno Jennings will give it to you raw.
Yeah.
But when you hear somebody like, Vic White say it, it's, oh man, you can't say that. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness, no.
Geno Jennings, I love the Geno Jennings changed my life in so many different ways that it's not even. All I can do is smile every time I see.
Yeah, he definitely put it down.
Because you ain't gonna hear. The only thing about Geno I didn't like, that I still think is suspect, is the story he told about how he met his wife and when the first time he seen her out there jumping rope. And I was like, dude, that's a little kind of pedophilish, but it is what it is.
Well, that's like Muhammad Ali. One of his wives, he looked at her when she was 6, right?
Exactly. But we hold these people to a high standard. But when you start looking at the whole dynamic of their life, and you turn around and be like, you know what, this ain't right. But people don't want to hear that part when you start dissecting people's lives. So I'm gonna just leave that alone because I was about to contradict myself. So I'm gonna leave that.
No, please. Go ahead. Please.
Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy.
Voodoo had a comment up here that I lost it.
Which one?
It was
now he mad because we talk about Muhammad Ali.
He said,
He
"Shut
might
your
have been a
mouth
great
about
boxer, but
here's the one. He says, I didn't know what I needed until I met someone who showed me what I was missing.
That's true.
That's pretty good right there. Yeah.
That's true.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was the same way. I mean, I was lost for 30 something years, just lost, just out here until I found my way. So,
well, I mean, you're only 31. How lost were you?
31. I wish I was 31.
But see, here's the thing. That's a great point that Voodoo makes, because here's the thing. Some women can show you what you need.
Yeah,
but you don't recognize it. Some men don't even recognize it when it's in their face. They're giving you, because it's like, I've been in situations where the man has been cheated on and been hurt, and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to show you, not all women are like that. Not all women are cheaters. Not all women's gonna dog you. There's gonna be some women out here that's gonna genuinely love you, genuinely have your back, genuinely rock with you. And like I told y'all before, like, if you ain't around, I mean, I've been in relationships where people dogging them, and when they're not around, I'm fighting for them. I got their back, but guess what? You end up dogging me. I'm riding for you. People dogging you, trashing your name, but I'm got your back. But the main one that got your back, the main one holding you down. Guess what? You end up hurting me. So that's why that's why I'm at the stand where I am. Y'all wondering why I'm the way I am? That's why.
Have you healed from that?
Everybody that I have showed love, everybody I was fighting for, they ain't fight for me.
Have you healed from that?
I have.
You have.
I have.
I wanted Tori to go on before you ask that question, because when you're in a zone, let them talk, because you was there, you was in that zone. That was me earlier. Like, you struck a nerve, so I had to get it out. Yeah,
I'm just saying like that. When Voodoo said that struck a nerve with me, because you can show a man what they need and they still gonna piss on you. That's what I'm saying. They still gonna dog you. It don't even matter. So that's
and
why I'm treading slowly and lightly
yeah,
right
and
now.
that's just like somebody had made a comment in a group, and it was saying something about what a side chick can do compared to the main chick. Like the side chick could do this, the side chick could do that, but the main chick won't do this. I don't care how good you are to a person. If they want to cheat, they're going to cheat. You can do everything in the book. You can, do no wrong. And if that person want to cheat, that person is going to cheat. So I don't care what people say, how they say it. If it's in that mind, if it's in that person's mind to cheat, they're going to cheat. You can be the best wife. You can be the best husband. If it's going to go down, it's going to go down.
Well, Tori, can I ask you this? Because I felt like you too. When the new person Tori, I hate just always trying to single you out. I hate it. But only thing I want to ask is if you say you felt like that, are there triggers that will you said you heal, but are there triggers that you'd be like, well, okay, the last dude did this. I ain't saying you're gonna cut them off, but are there like triggers that'll make you kind of a little standoffish? Like I said, I hate you don't just say yes or no. I don't.
Well, that's why I wasn't picking on her neither. But when she was on that role, it seems like when I asked her if she healed, she can only answer it. But the way you was going hard, I was like, "Are you really healed from this?" I don't know.
You have to let people vent. She's just venting.
Right.
Okay. The answer Victor's question. Let me be real honest. Really honest. To answer your question, Victor, there are triggers for me. Yes, there is. There are, and Victor, you know this. I am the queen of block. If you do something to trigger me, I block you quick. And it's like you ain't never existed. So maybe I do got some healing to do.
Well, why is that?
That's why I asked that question, Veronica, while she was there in that zone.
Well, what's wrong? What's wrong with blocking negativity in your life?
Right.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, and matter of fact, I ain't trying to get religious, but one of my sisters in church, she spoke on Saturday. We had church on Saturday mornings, and one of the things she said, familiar, at the end of the word familiar is liar, and the devil is a liar. Man. If I see something that is familiar or remind me of something where that caused me hurt and pain, yes, y'all right, I'm gonna block it. But at the same time, with any relationship, it's not gonna be good all the time. The thing that concerns me is that I may have my husband blocked because I block real quick. Because I'll tell y'all something. We'll get off the live. I can't say it on the live because they'll know what I'm talking about if I say it on the live. Remind me to tell y'all something because I block quick.
But the thing is, Tori, just because you think you see something in a person that you saw in someone that did you wrong, you shouldn't be so quick to block them.
I am. I'm bad about that.
Because you don't know what this person could be bringing in your life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. You have to give people a chance just because, Lord, we all have our guards up when it comes to things. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you are so quick to block someone. Yeah. It can be like, my sock was brown the other day, it was black. Like, you'd be like, block.
Because let me tell y'all how bad I got it. Okay. A friend of mine, this was probably about 2 or 3 years ago, was trying to introduce me to somebody, right? Okay.
Hold on. Say that again.
Victor, don't do that. Okay, a friend of mine was trying to set me up with somebody about 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, I planned to go out on a date with the guy, right? He called me. And so he called me. Well, he said, no, I talked to him early that morning. He said, I'm going to call you at 7. Okay. I'm looking at my phone at 7 o'clock. He didn't call at 7. Then at 7:05, he still ain't called. 7:15, I still didn't hear a call. Now understand, something could have happened, but by 7:25, nothing, no text, or something came up, or I'm busy, something happened. By 7:35, blocked. I ain't gonna even lie.
Tori.
Blocked.
Tori.
Right? Yeah.
Tori.
And if you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it, if you don't keep your word,
If you are consistently not keeping your word, I'll block you for that too.
Tori,
I sure will.
Tori,
Yes.
Tori.
Yeah, I like you to be consistent as well.
I commend you for standing your ground. And no, to be honest with you, I commend you for just being consistent in blocking people. Hey, I get it. You know, you have a standard, and if they don't meet your standards, then they block. You know, I really can't judge you for that. I can't, but because I'm a big person with accountability. And my old lady will tell you, if I say meet me at 6 o'clock, 6:05, I'm gone. See, you gave them 35 minutes. I give people 5 because I get it, but how can somebody come at you and say, well, Tori, you being a little too hard? But that's your standard. If you tell me this, you make plans, I made plans, my time is just as valuable as yours. So if you wasted my time, you ain't gonna waste it but one time. I get it.
Only thing I'm gonna say is, to you, Tori. The only thing I'm gonna say is, Tori is. That's why when you're not on the show, we could agree or disagree, but sometimes you will say things that needs explanation and understanding, and not only understanding about you, because it's not about you, it's about just the circumstance. And sometimes it seems like we are getting on you, but it's not about getting on you. Sometimes you will go in a direction that's a little different than the rest of us here, but it's who you are. And when we get someone on a show like that, it's good for them to explain as much without going too deep and personal, because it gets somebody else that's listening that may not comment a little bit better understanding, because they may be just like you and it may help them. So that's why sometimes it may seem like we're getting on you, but sometimes we're trying to pull a little bit more. Just like she just said, I asked that question, even though I jumped in, she did come back and said, hey, I may still need a little bit more healing. So that was honest. That was just real. And that's what we're trying to do, is make a difference and help people out here.
Let me get the 2 comments that John made that I really like. This one that just came up. He says, men only consistent for the women they really want. Ladies, stop screaming consistent. And that is true.
Notice he said want, not need.
Right. Want.
But see, the thing with men though, men are visual creatures.
Good point. Excellent point. You get a bell on that.
Okay, what does that mean? Because I'm visual as well. What?
A lot. Well, they're more. Listen, the attraction to a man, they gonna like. For example, this, I'm not gonna stand up, but for example, this dress that I have on, when I wear this out,
Ooh, yeah.
The man gonna stop me. This man ran in the store one day behind me because of what he saw. That's what I mean. They thinking, Veronica, they're not always thinking with the right head.
Yeah. Victor, stupid.
That's what I mean by visual.
Okay, I thought you meant something else. All right.
No, we as women, we're visual too, but not the same, not like they are.
Not that way.
No.
No, not that way. No, not as extreme as we are.
Yeah.
Not as extreme, but y'all are visual. Got me cursing on here.
Tori, John says, how can a man possibly know he triggered you, Tori? You might be already block your blessings of a good man. I'm saying.
John, you right, because let me tell you. Let me tell y'all, this same dude that I ended up blocking. Okay, prior to me blocking this dude, he used to always go to work on time, ain't never showed up late, nothing. But the couple times that I spoke to him, I prayed with him, I poured in him. So after I blocked him, they was like, well, Tori, what do you do? I'm like, what you mean? I just blocked him. Hey, man, now the boy don't have come to work. He don't be on time. I'm like, well, I ain't did that. What I got to do with that? But it's like, I don't know.
You might have broke his spirit.
John, that is something I have to work on, because sometimes I will admit that that's something I have to work on, because sometimes I will block you, you not know it, and I'll block you without giving you an explanation.
See,
You don't owe nobody no explanation.
But I'm just saying, it common courtesy just tell when you did this, and see that's something that I have to work
it is
on.
common courtesy, Victor. I think I disagree with you. I think it is common courtesy because sometimes you will do something and it's not intentionally, and you may not realize what you did triggered that person to make them do something that you just lightly say, "Oh shoot, I forgot. I honestly forgot. You know what? My child was running a fever, and I wind up getting called last minute, and I had to deal with him." You just don't know. And then Tori even said that. So I disagree with you on that, Vic, because you may not know. And if she blocked him, then he can't even say, "Hey, I'm sorry, Tori. Little Junior here got sick, and and I couldn't call you. My battery ran dead, and I apologize." At least give him that chance,
All right, so now let's back it up. Because if I block somebody, I blocked you for whatever reason I wanted to block you. So I don't owe you nothing. But if I got a date with Tori, my phone ain't running dead, especially if I want to be with her. If anything comes up, we're even remotely close to the 7 o'clock date, I'm going to let her know, hey, this is what I got going on. So as a man, we need to start holding ourselves more accountable than say, "Oh, my phone ran dead." That's a bullshit excuse. So if I really want you all day leading up to this 7 o'clock date, I'm hitting you up. It might not be a real status report, but it's like, "Okay, can't wait to see you it might be 5 o'clock. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Just about to jump in the shower, so-and-so. It's a status report up to leaving at 7. But if I tell you I'm gonna meet you Tuesday at 7, and last time I talked to you was Sunday, then that's already showing that I ain't got no interest. So for me to sit here and say, "Well, Vic, I blocked you because you didn't show up at 7 o'clock," you don't owe me that. The minute I didn't show up, I blocked you.
Tori, was it a show up or it was a phone call, right? It was a phone call.
Well, he was supposed to call before we met that night, and he was blocked before we met.
Oh, okay.
But see, that's the thing, though. I don't owe nobody no explanation, but I don't owe nobody an explanation but God. That's it. Everybody else
to the shoe
is at my mercy
until that shoe runs on the other side. Until that shoe runs on the other side, and then
but see, it has. I've been blocked before, but guess what? I don't care.
I wonder why.
But understand this. This is my philosophy on things. There's 6.8 billion people in the world. At least half of those are females. That's 3.4 billion people. Okay, at least 1 billion of those people are in between the ages of 18 and damn death. I don't need one person with all those options. Let it go. So if I choose one, that's who I want and need to be with.
Somebody look at it, the glass is half full. Some look at it, the glass is half empty. So with all those options, they'll be like, "Well, why one?" You're saying, so hey.
But my thing is, you don't owe it. But what I'm saying is, you're saying that if I block somebody or if I stop talking to somebody, I owe them an explanation. No, I don't. You know exactly why.
I'm saying that it's how you go about blocking someone. I'm just saying that if somebody didn't call you, again, Tori had her reason, so I'm not gonna sit here and belabor that. But I just think that there's a reason. If you disrespect somebody, damn right, block their ass in a minute. But if somebody didn't call you, I just think out of common courtesy, just to say, well, you know what? When this person do call me, I need to find out what's what. If it sounds like BS, then hey. But hey, again, Tori that's what she do. But she did say she still needs to heal more on that. So,
and that's something I have to work on because
you need to block more, Tori.
one thing I can admit as well. Sometimes I am Voodoo getting on my nerve. Voodoo's so stupid. Sometimes
I'm sorry.
Sometimes, yeah, Voodoo crazy. Sometimes
you might be blocking. Oh God.
Sometimes what?
You might as well put that comment up there so people know why we laughing. The dead person calling you from the dead.
Oh my gosh, Voodoo, stop. Oh gosh,
Oh
why
my
did I even
God.
look over there?
What I was trying to say. Some people, I feel that I block them immaturely. I don't give them an opportunity to explain themselves. I will
Thank
say
you,
that.
Tori.
So
Thank
you
you.
Now,
give somebody
I
an
do
opportunity to break your heart?
It's not always about breaking your heart. It could be
She
a
had,
reason.
but she already said that. Go ahead, Tori. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, but just like John said earlier, a man is gonna be consistent with the one that they want. And I just don't like for you to tell me one thing and do another. If you say you're gonna call at 7:00, then I can't. Here's the thing: I can't expect people to be Tory. Because, like, say if I say I'm gonna call you at 7:00, I'm gonna call you at 6:58 or 6:59. If I say I'm gonna call you at 7:00,
We know.
Block.
Yeah.
I'm blocking then.
She did that. She told me that on my birthday, and boy, Tori was right on time. But see, I know that now. You know, she called me right there. I'm calling you tomorrow for tea on your birthday, and she was right
But
on.
not
She was a
everybody.
few minutes early, as she just said.
Everybody don't think like you, Tori.
yeah.
I got to give it to her. She
But I
did call.
understand where she's coming from, because if you got triggers, if you see, why even create that pattern? I'm not gonna give you a chance to even go down this road, because the minute you look like you want to go down that road, I'm gonna shut that road off.
Right.
I get it. Hey, Tori, you know what? I agree with you. Block every damn body.
Bye, Vic.
But this is the thing though.
Bye, Vic.
But this is the thing though. But Tori has said this before. Just because she blocks somebody on social media don't mean she blocks them out of their life. I mean, she says if she I think she said that if it's destined to be, it's gonna happen. So if she blocks him, she can't block her husband. She can't. It's impossible. She can't block the one she gonna be with ultimately at the end of the day. His ass might be on her block list on social media, but eventually, if he really wants her, guess what he gonna do? He gonna send the little edible arrangements. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. He gonna go through one of her friends and say, "Listen, I think I'm on the block list. Let me butter her up. Let me shop with Veronica and buy some earrings. Send them to Tori." I mean, there's so many ways that a man can be creative to get a woman's attention.
And to prove that point, Victor, you're absolutely right. I blocked somebody, and that's like, I'm not gonna call my friend name, but that's like I blocked them, but they use Veronica's phone to call me because they know I'm gonna answer Veronica's call.
Right,
now.
But I just want to ask Tori, did you ever block somebody because they got on your nerve against your football team?
Oh no.
No, okay.
That's petty.
We'll say
Very petty.
So since I didn't know about that, you agree with me that I do know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes.
But see, that's the thing though. I know if my fiance ever tell you the story on how we met, she ain't have no choice but to be with me. Because I pursued her, and it was just, she had no choice.
You sure she ain't settled?
Ooh. Ooh. Splash.
She settled for the best.
Because they ain't no more in the rest.
Well,
and I've had somebody to literally show up at my house.
That's stalking. Now there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between getting your attention and stalking now.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
I've had notes on my car.
That's ridiculous.
On my door. And that's why to this day I don't open my door.
Wait a minute.
If you don't tell me you coming, and you come I don't do pop-ups.
So this is something we're gonna talk about after the show because I need to write this down.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell you this.
this
I'm gonna tell y'all this straight up. I gotta give it to Tori right now because Tori is right now. She's a woman of her word. Because now I'm looking back at every little thing. If Tori was running late, if we say we going to Cracker Barrel or whatever, and she's running late, she'll call ahead. Hey, Fatina, I'm running a few minutes late. I'll be like, oh, no problem, blah, blah, blah. So she is a woman of her word. I got to give her that because she is a woman of her word. And I want to say that.
But people need to know this up front.
Yes.
Like,
no, they don't.
Yes.
No, they
yes,
don't.
They do. Like, you can't, like, if a guy tell you, I'm going to call you at 7 and it's 7:01, he haven't called yet, Tori going to block him.
But the thing but wait a minute, Veronica, he don't need to know that because now he's actually trying. He needs to be himself. Tori, don't give away no secrets. Let this man mess up.
That man was in the bathroom. He just finished in the bathroom. So 7:02.
Who don't take their phone in the bathroom?
He didn't want to call her in the bathroom, bro.
I'll
doing
do
business.
I'll do it on mute in a second. Mute.
Oh, you can talk to somebody in the bathroom, but your fiance can't come in the bathroom with you when you're using the bathroom.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
No, he ain't puffing.
Right. Voodoo said he know for a fact his girl settled, but it's too late now.
Oh God. I wouldn't say that, Voodoo.
And like,
I'm sorry.
Keisha, sometimes it takes a while to see potential in a person.
That's true.
And I was gonna say to Voodoo. Now Voodoo,
what's up,
Voodoo
Keisha?
child, he jokes a lot, but he is a good dude. He's a really good person, good-hearted person. So I don't think that, Voodoo. You're a good dude. You act crazy, but you have a good heart. You're a really good person.
Oh. That's so sweet.
Okay, let's kill this silence.
Right.
Need to do some stand up.
Keisha wrote something earlier. Let me see if I can. It was long. Keisha, are you new to the show? I'm not familiar with seeing Keisha name.
That's a friend of mine.
God puts people in your life. Shouts out to New York. She's in New York.
Yep.
God puts people in your life when there are lessons you need to learn. Some people learn easy and move on. Some learn hard and make excuses for spasm. Some never learn, but yet each person based on how they are treating you in the now. Is that right? But yeah. You cannot change the past. Going forward, pay heed, but be honest enough to say you are in your feelings and your triggers are present. Deal with the here and now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
People they, don't want to share their feelings, and that's when, you know what, we ain't even gonna go back there. So I was saying, y'all remember what the letter was about?
Yes, we do. That she wanted to give the man, not give a man. She's been with somebody for 4 years, and that she is at her wit's end and wants to either be proposed to or leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And do women settle? So I think women do settle, Veronica. I think they do.
I think a lot of women settle.
Yep.
Because they want that security. They want that feeling of having a man there. Like a lot of women do settle. There's no doubt about that. Settle for looks. Settle for what a man can do for them. Settle that the man popularity. They settle for a lot of reasons.
How about they settle for men with ear hair? That is just so gross, ain't it? When you see a guy and walk around, and I told my fiance that yesterday. I said, if you ever let me walk around here with hair in my ear, it's over. Let me know.
What about hair on your chest?
Oh, I'm not hairy, but what I'm saying is all I'm
I thought
saying
you were gonna say hairy in your news.
When I look at older guys, and I see how when I look at older guys, I say
leave it to Victor.
But what I'm saying, this is something I think about. When I look at older guys, I said, there's no way his woman let him walk out the house looking like that. And then sometimes I'm saying she probably like, well, ain't nobody else gonna deal with him if he looked like that. That's mine.
Hair in his ears?
Hair in his ears, hair coming out his nose. I mean, got his pants jack up in his ass. I mean, he just is. We be out here looking mess up, man. But I'm just saying, like, y'all, but a woman will stand next to him and be like, you damn right, this my man. But we don't do shit like that. We be like, hey, baby, you need to turn that wig back to the front. You know what I'm saying? Pull the dress down. But I just think, and I ain't trying to get on my soapbox, but I'm just saying that a woman's love is far deeper than a man's love.
Well, I will say, Victor, there are some men that love.
Ass for me.
Yeah, there are some men that love just deep as women, if not deeper.
Oh my
God! I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm just saying a woman, because y'all say we visual, but usually when you see a man and a woman together, it don't matter. She fly. She gonna be flyer than him. But us, oh man.
I don't I come from the era where we dressed in public school, junior high school. So we come, at least my era. And then I gotta give a shout out to some of my younger cousins, because some of my younger cousins, you know, and I remember two of my younger cousins came up to me and was like, yo, we remember when you dressed and we took after you, and they still matching, you know. I call my cousin LJ because he's a grown man. We can't call him Little John no more, LJ. And my cousin Ron, you know, and then my cousin Julie, sons. I'm talking about the guys, fam. Don't think I'm calling out the girls, but they take pride in looking good. And I wanted to shout them out for that, because they're younger. And, you know, with the young, some got their pants off their backside, this, that, and the other, pants hanging down. Nah, not my young cousins. They dress. I want to shout them out.
Wow.
Yep.
They ain't wearing no Hawaii 5-0 shirts.
Nah, they ain't wearing none of that. No.
They swag level ain't high. Everybody can't wear that.
Tori, book him, Dano.
Let's see what Keisha's saying.
Oh, goodness.
Never know what you have. Value is not in quality, how big her ass is or breasts. Quality is in how you feel when you are with that person.
Wait a minute. How can she say that? Is she speaking for us?
Value is not, know what you have. Value is not in the quantity, how big her ass or in her breast. Quality is how you feel when you are with that person, and you can overlook some things. So what she basically saying is some things can be overlooked. Quantity, value is not in quantity, it's in quality, in the sense of the quality of the person. So the person may not be matching at the end of the day, or the person may not have a big ass or a big chest. But at the end of the day, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Well, that might be for some people, but some guys is got a physical aspect of what they're going to look, what they want to be with. I mean, I have a type. So if she don't meet at least these visual standards, she ain't even going to get a chance. Well, ain't nobody going to get a chance now, but you know, it is what it is.
So are you saying if a woman don't look, if she's not pretty or, you know, up to your standards, you're not going to date her?
I'm not going to approach her. No. Why would I? I mean, why would I approach somebody who I think is ugly? That's not.
Because ugly people have feelings as well. I don't think anyone is ugly. I think everyone is unique in their own way.
Yes. But I'm going to spare her feelings by not talking to her. I understand the comment that she's making, but how I'm going to approach you? How I know your qualities before I approach you? So if I get it, but understand the big butt and the smile. I'm going over there and say, hey, what's going on? Then when you say something stupid, I'm going this way. But
now you're going to the unattractive one.
No, I'm not. I'm going home.
Now here's the thing too. I have blocked someone in regards to this guy had texted me one time. This is some years ago too, but he texted me and I wasn't by my phone when he texted me. I was actually in the bathroom doing my hair because y'all know I'm a wig wearer. So I was doing my natural hair. And so I texted him back and I was like, I'm getting ready. I was twisting my hair. That's why I missed your text. And he goes and says something to the effect, why are you twisting your hair? Because I won't mess it up anyway. Block. Because I already see what you on your mind. You trying to get in my bed. No, sir. Block. So if you
come, he could have just walked up to you and did that.
No, if
not Mr. Block him, you telling her to block him, so now you're trying to go against what she's saying.
Because he just talking out two sides of his mouth. That's why
I was just messing with
That's why.
But I'm saying if you're gonna have a conversation, if we're gonna have a conversation, and it's always about my how I look physically, my chest, my hips, thighs, or whatever. If that's all you're talking about, and you're not bringing a conversation with substance, I will block you. I like to have,
a little bit more balance.
Yeah,
a little bit more balance. I understand that. Yeah,
what's a conversation of substance?
Like, let's talk about, say, this one guy I had an interest in. He was talking about this business he want to start. Let's talk about some things. Let's write the blueprint for the business. Let's get some business ideas. But if you constantly talking about how I look physically, no, let's talk about some business ideas. Let's talk about how we can build together. Let's talk about how, you know what I'm saying? What we can do for our community. Let's talk about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about something,
I want to know before we go off from a couple of our users our viewers out there, if you don't mind, Veronica, because the other day I was thinking about on my New York show, should I talk about Kirk Franklin's situation with his son, grown son, how he dealt with that in parenting and how we communicate there, or do I give the audience, people getting their stimulus, people lost their job, money is tight. Should I do a financial show? So I decided to do a financial show. But what I did is I did something called rapid fire. So I did the rapid fire on hate. So I got people to talk about the hate out there and how to combat hate. So I gave them a little bit of that, but I decided to give them something that they could take back and make a difference and help them. But I'll be honest with you, the fire died at first. The fire, with the energy of the people calling, it had to pick back up later. So I wonder what people want to talk about. Do they want substance, or do they want things that entertains their mind in a sense, but it's not substance? It could be ratchet. It could be relationships. We continue to go in that circle about relationships, but over and over and over. Do they want something else to balance that? And I'm just curious, because to me, at the end of the day, the ratchetness wins.
Well, you know what?
When it comes to radio and social media type things, the people are going to gravitate to drama field things. Right. Because, like, for example, like Veronica could get like thousands of views. When I do my little Keep the Faith podcast, I might have a couple of views. So people they like the tea, they like the type, the variety. They like, you know what I'm saying? They like the you know what I'm saying? They like the this and that, you know what I'm saying? They like variety.
They like the entertainment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't run from that. You can't.
Yeah.
But what with me, my two biggest conversations I love to have is about finances and politics. But people don't like to talk about stuff like that because people get offended real quick. So, I choose I definitely ain't talking religion with nobody, but I choose to back up from that because a lot of us are not up on our political game like we should be. And when it comes to finances, people always want to shoot the breeze like they know what they're talking about. So when you start talking about credit scores, then all of a sudden people want to start, this and this, and I'm on Credit Karma. That is a trash site. I always tell people you can fix your credit and raise your credit score 90 points by yourself in 3 months. But when you tell somebody, how to do it, either they don't want to do it or they think you lying. So I'm not going to show nobody my credit score, but I can show you what I did to boost it up to where it is right now.
Right. Veronica did the show where she looked at you. You got on yourself tough, Veronica. But like these shows get a lot of comments, and we get a lot of energy and a lot of laugh. But when you did that show with the two police officers, you even had more people in the room, and you received a lot of comments there. So it depends on what you're talking about, you know.
But you know, Veronica, you had both of that guy was the sheriff and the chief of police in Darlington, right?
Correct. Yeah.
What amazed me more than anything about that show, and I did not know that, was that they both were black. And I did not know that. And when I saw it, I was like, you know, is that just a deputy? And then once I started watching, I was like, regardless of they say how the show went, just that alone in Darlington, that amazed me more than anything. I was like, Darlington has a chance to actually vote the right way, because they a black sheriff in Darlington County. Are you serious?
Yeah,
but people don't see. I look at things like that because my political mind is like, I'm always looking. They don't understand the voting power that Darlington has right now.
Yeah.
For a black sheriff.
That's right. And I don't live down there, but understand when you say sheriff, I know that's a position that is voted in. That's a voter. You don't go up and apply for that job. You are voted in.
And for the chief of police to be appointed by the mayor.
Yes.
And he's a black chief of police. Darlington and Darlington is kind of I ain't gonna say it's a rural area, because Hartsfield does outweigh Darlington a little bit. But when I saw that, I was like, man, that is awesome. Huh?
A lot.
But I was like, man, that is awesome.
So, yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, it depends. I like having other topics as well. Like you guys mentioned, I like the chief and the sheriff. I had the pastors on here, and, you know, I'm getting my fitness instructor to come on. Like, I like variety, but I also like this.
Trash Orlando. Don't forget him.
And I had Orlando on. You know what? You're going to talk about my friend. And, you know, it's just, I like the tea because we can talk about any and everything. So that's the good thing about having this platform. I say it over and over again. So, and you know, with the pandemic going on and people in the house and, you know, people being depressed and shut down and all that, I think it's really good that these relationship topics are a big deal. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of letters about relationship and the ratchetness and the cheating and all of that. That's when people, you know, entertain. So that's a good thing.
Did you see some of these comments here?
That's exactly what Jessica said. Entertainment takes your mind off things, and that's exactly what we bring. Entertainment. I mean, Victor brings foolishness with his entertainment.
But I'm gonna tell you this: behind people think it's foolishness, but it's facts. You know, like I told Tori, if a man want to get your attention, he gonna do all this. I gave an example about Veronica, and that's really what happened. So people sit here and think, oh man, he don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, I do.
Yeah, you are pretty good when you be coming with your opinions.
And he's still going strong. Jerry Springer was on for decades. Now he's a judge, and he's still going strong.
Even Oprah started out with ratchetness in the beginning. See what I'm saying? Yeah, start out there, honey. Who's watching? Who's watching?
Come on, Tori.
Well, I'm getting my taste. Listen, I'm getting my taste of ratchetness on the Tangy Tea of Life show. Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with sipping a little tea, Tori.
Yes.
Sorry, you just do. I had a guy that called into Reverend Sharpton's show, and I was surprised he let it through. There's a guy that called in, and he talked about pimps in the pulpit. Pimps in the pulpit. This is before he went on Michael Baisden's show at the time. And he talked about a couple of things, you know, and a couple of ministers that it came out about certain things. So at the end of the day, you can have those kind of conversations on a religious show too.
There was a topic. I can't remember what it was. Victor, there was something that Voodoo Child had said. He said, Tori, you going to talk about this? I can't remember what it was, but I remember Victor, you talking about Marvin, you and Marvin got to be on that show. What was that topic? And he asked me what we're going to talk about. And I said, I was going to talk about it on my show. I can't remember what it was. But it was something that Voodoo Child said, Tori, you gonna talk about that? And I said, yeah, I can talk about it. And he said, and you said into my Marvin, this is a show we gotta be on.
That was like a month ago, wasn't it?
It was, I can't remember. I should have wrote it down because Voodoo Child asked me and I said I would do it, but I don't remember what it was.
Or maybe Voodoo can remind. I know Veronica said that when she invite the ministers back, that we could be back. So that'll look forward to that.
I don't want nothing to do with that.
See what I'm saying?
I'll be here.
People might not understand it, but I'm very religious. I just don't talk about it. Very, very, very religious. I'm not gonna talk about that with nobody. So I'll stay out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I read my scripture daily and I keep it pushing.
Yeah. There was something I was gonna say, but I forgot my train of thought. God, it was something I was gonna say.
Jessica says you have to lure an audience with their interest before diving deep. True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you give them the substance after you get their attention.
But there are a lot of things, like for teens, that there's a lot of things that go on in church that that can be talked about. But
if you look up St. Peter, St. Paul Catholic Church, and the pastor yesterday or day before yesterday got caught with 2 dominatrixes in the pulpit and was video recording it.
Well, I'll get that organ.
And if you don't believe the story, it was on the Breakfast Club Donkey of the Day today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love Charlemagne.
He's
Wow.
from the South.
Now you do. Because 5 years ago, you probably didn't like him.
Because he was a Victor. He was like Victor.
No, I always like Charlemagne.
Nobody likes Charlemagne.
I like Charlemagne because Charlemagne spits the truth always.
Okay.
He's my other sister station competitor, but I respect him as an individual. I know him, not very well, but I got a chance to meet Charlemagne when he was with Wendy Williams at that particular time.
Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
His book is very good. His book is real good.
It is. I read it. So Black Privilege.
Good book.
That is a good book. I read it too.
Yes.
And in that book, I learned that he said that Willie Will, that he talked about in the book, he said Willie Will told him to go to the radio station. I think it was Z93 because I went to the College of Charleston. He said Willie Will told him to do the internship. And you know what? I was kicking myself because y'all, me and Willie Will was like this when I was in college. And it's like, he was like the one out the crew that was in radio, and I was taking media communications when I was in school. But when we were rolling, I wasn't thinking about no work for the radio station. And Willie Will was one of my homeboys, and I lost contact with him. I would give anything to find him. So when he said Willie Will, the one told him to go, and I was like, "Hey," because let me tell you, Willie Will used to come hang out with us, right? And Veronica and Fatine, y'all know how the tracking works. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, Will, how you here? But I hear you on the radio. He said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. Y'all know. And I'm like, hey, I think that's pretty cool.
You was going to school for communication. Why wouldn't you take that opportunity to work at the radio?
Veronica, I was not focused.
Yeah.
I was not focused at that time.
What was you focused on?
Don't worry about that. Okay, anytime for us to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Time for you to puff. Tori, time for you to puff.
Puff, baby. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Yeah, because it's going on 2 hours. Because we was all over the place. But there was a comment that John made. I wanted to oh yeah, I think when we was talking about the looks, John says if she ain't attractive at first sight, why in 2 hells I'm gonna approach you? I can't see your inside at first.
Didn't I say that? I appreciate it.
Go ahead and puff, bro.
You gotta have John on the show, bro.
I did ask John multiple times to come on the show.
John, come on the show.
I
Now,
know.
let me tell you, if you get him to come on, that's a show I want to sit in the audience and watch.
You know, John, he be posting some powerful stuff on his page. I love his posts.
Yeah.
So I would love for him to be a guest.
Shut up, Victor.
Right.
You gonna smoke a cigarette?
So what advice?
That ain't no cigarette. I'm smoking.
Okay.
What advice? Yeah, he's smoking something a little heavier.
Crack.
That's why his hair be straight next week.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we're gonna kick off. What advice you gonna give this lady?
Sister Tori.
I would say, like I said, don't force anything. Let things happen organically, but at the same time, you don't want to wait forever. But I agree with what Veronica said earlier. Sometimes, and Victor, I do not think that when you throw hints, I don't think that's giving them an ultimatum. Sometimes you just want to know where to head at. You know what I mean? So, just like Veronica said, give those little hints just to see what their thought process is, and don't force it. And I do not agree with Victor. Don't you propose to that man child. Do not do that. Don't do it. And then the other thing is, in regards to settling, I have to go back to what Victor said in regards to sometimes you may want to, and I started thinking about that after Victor said it. Sometimes try to find a person. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but try to find a person that's going to have some balance, providing what you need as well as what you want, so you don't stray. And that's it.
That was good.
Yeah. I'll jump in here. You know, a lot of times when we talk from hindsight. You know, in hindsight, you know, it's 2020. You know, because you can look back and see where you've made mistakes and how you can improve or try to improve. And like Keisha had wrote earlier, that, you know, you can't go and change the mistakes. You just try to learn from those mistakes. But also moving forward, when you're in the situation moving forward, and especially in the beginning, a lot of things are pretty much you compatible if things are moving together and you're moving together. The point I'm trying to make is that I do agree with Tori. I don't think she should go ahead and propose to him, but I think that she should have a conversation, not an ultimatum, but a conversation to see where they're at. It's nothing wrong to reevaluate where we're at in this relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let's just do a check, you know, let's look at what we planning financial, what are we planning to do? And the bottom line, if we're going to do this, don't we need to be a stronger unit? Needs to be a commitment here. That's the conversation. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just putting on your grown pants or panties or whatever and pulling them up. That's it.
I find it. I love the way that everybody, you know, gave my final thought for me. So y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Ma'am, you know, if this guy's moving too slow for you, then you need to find out what's best for you. Either you wait or you stay. If you want to be married, then you need to ask that man to marry you. A proposal don't necessarily mean you buy a ring and you get on one knee. You know, you just need to let that man know, hey, I want to get married and I want you to be my husband. That's a proposal. I mean, she don't have to get on one knee, but that's just how I feel. You know, go for what you want. You know, women need to stop being the doormat and be at a man's beckon and call. You know, it's 2021, women's liberation, women's month, all this other stuff. You know, stop waiting on a man to make the decision for you. Because if you want to get married, then that's exactly what you need to do. Either find you somebody to get married to or marry that man. But, you know, that's just how I feel.
Yeah, that was good. I do feel like women need to stop waiting on a man to make decisions for them. If, like Victor said, that you feel like this man he's moving too slow after 4 years, I do feel like you should, I don't want to say, I'm definitely not going to say pressure him, because like I said earlier, you don't want to pressure anyone in doing anything, marriage, relationship, sex, whatever. You don't want to put pressure on someone, but you do want to have that conversation with him and let him, we've been together 4 years. We need to be working out something. We need to be moving this line a little quicker, or whatever you want to call it. So I just feel that the best thing for you to do is to have that conversation with him. And Tori, you know what I'm talking about. You know, the 5 love languages. One of the Victor, like one of the love languages was about what do you call it when they prefer to write things out or whatever?
The affirmation.
Huh?
The affirmation, words of affirmation.
Yes, words of affirmation. And if you don't feel like having this conversation, I mean, after 4 years, you should be able to sit and have the conversation with that person. And because I was going to say, if you don't feel comfortable, then write it down. You know what I'm saying? You know, write it in a card, write it, you know. But after 4 years, I mean, at this point, you all should be able to have face-to-face conversation and let, you know, each other know what you want. I go back to say that is definitely, thank you, Jessica, words of affirmation. But I do say that is what's wrong with a lot of relationships. Like, people don't want to sit down and have conversations, like serious conversations. You need to sit down and talk and let each other know how you feel, not just assuming what someone is thinking. You need to have that conversation. So that is definitely your first step. Don't pressure him. Have that conversation and find out where his mind is at after 4 years. Like, after 4 years, you need to be telling me something. Like, seriously. I don't want to go another 4 years just being your girlfriend.
That's the ultimatum, though.
Well, at that point, it is what it is. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I'm just saying, like, where are we going? Are we going anywhere? Or are we just going to sit still right here? Even though things may be going good, everything, you know, after 4 years, we're at this place where we're comfortable. But I think I need a ring. I'm just saying. Now, Victor, we all know that you've been engaged for 3 years. So you close to 4. What's up with the long engagement? Are y'all still trying to figure each other out? You don't have to answer that. I'm just playing, Victor. I'm just playing. You don't have to answer that. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this young lady. I just hope that they're able to sit down and really have that conversation and find out where each other head is at. Bam. And all is good. And after that conversation, then you figure out where to go from there. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight for the tea. I really appreciate it. Every night I say 30 minutes or an hour. It always turn out to be 2 hours with this live, but it's all good. Thank you all so much for your comments. Of course, we couldn't get to all 300 comments, but we really appreciate you guys for leaving your comments. And of course, we will go back and leave comments behind you guys if need be. Yes, communication is key, definitely. Guys, thank y'all so much. I feel extra tired tonight. I wasn't able to take my little quick nap, so I just feel like burnt out. Victor, thank you so much for your pearly whites. We appreciate you for joining us. My co-host, Victor. My girl, Tori, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Once again, we're praying for you and the family.
Thank you. Praying for yours as well.
Thank you so much. For team, all the way from New York, WBLS radio station. I appreciate you, brother, and praying for your family as well.
Thank you.
Definitely.
But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much. Another great night, another great tea, as we call it. So, guys, we're going to end this broadcast.
Oh, goodness.
And pray that you all have a good night. And we will check y'all out here Thursday, sipping on some tea. Good night, everyone.
Peace. Deuces.